Hello, my beloved friend. Before the story, I ask you to subscribe. I really want 1,000 subscribers. Hey everyone. I'm a bit shell-shocked right now. We've been together 8 years, only married since the end of March. Just after getting married, she got a job at a smoke shop that stays open late, which put our schedules opposite of each other. I wasn't thrilled, but she needed to pull in some income. A month after starting there, one night she came home super late after drinking with friends. Late enough that I was worried about her. When she came home and fell onto the bed, I helped her get sorted out with clothes and everything, but then her phone went off with some texts. I know it's a breach to look, but I honestly thought it would give me some context for who she was with and to make sure there wasn't an emergency. However, when I looked, I found a flirty conversation with another man, Tom. I approached her the following day, and she came clean that he was a customer who came in a lot and she hadn't told him she was married. She said she knew it was stupid, but that she was having fun being flirty with someone. We got past it and she told him she was married, and that was the end. Until a week or two later that she got really intoxicated after work and went to his house after. For time, I'm not gonna tell every intricate detail, but she went to his and admitted the next day that they had made out. I knew she had seen him because I looked at her phone again, this time maliciously. Again, we talked it out for why it happened and discussed what is wrong within our own relationship. She brought up the idea of being poly, but I was not interested, and a little bothered she would bring it up after cheating on me. Throughout this summer, I have been in the dark with a lot of things going on in her life. She kind of shut down and pulled away from me. Look, she has a lot of trauma. She makes bad decisions. Trauma doesn't justify actions, yes, but being understanding is helpful for actually fixing things. It seemed things were getting better and that we were starting to mend and digging into our issues and her own when suddenly she revealed to me that they did not just make out, they had sex. And they have been sleeping together for most of the summer. No condom, no STD check. This dude just got put in jail for getting into a fight and drawing a knife. Clearly, I'm a bit too vanilla, right? Main point is that he's out of the picture. I'm not willing to get into that deeper all right now. My wife has a job that pays barely anything. I've been paying for most all of the expenses and then some. I don't think I can ever trust her again, and I aim to divorce her. I made that clear to her as well. A problem is, she has suicidal tendencies and suffers from anxiety and depression. I'm struggling to figure out how to navigate this. I don't want her to hurt herself, and I don't want her to be homeless. But I want her out of this house and far from me. It's only been a few hours after we talked, so I bet my story here is a mess. But so am I. Please Reddit, WTF do I do right now? TLDR, my wife has been cheating on me. We will probably get divorced. She suffers from mental illness and is broke. I love her and want the best for her despite this situation. Update, for context, we are still in the same home in separate rooms until we figure out what the plan is. She is still on the lease, so she is within her rights to be here. I am going to divorce her and hope to keep living in the house we rent. She suffers from anxiety and depression. Mostly the advice I got in the other sub was that her problems aren't mine and that I should kick her out immediately, owe her nothing, blah blah blah. They wanted blood, but that's not who I am. This man she cheated on me with was abusive and manipulative. With her marriage wrecked and pretty much nowhere to go aside from her emotionally stunted mothers, how could I not be concerned about someone I've shared so much of my life with? However, I'm in a hard spot because she is still wanting support from me. I'm so angry and hurt, I can't tell her everything will be okay or help with her mental illnesses. I don't feel like my health is in question at all, but I also feel like I can't be around her without being cruel. What happens when she has a panic attack? Will I walk away? I don't think so, but I also feel like I can't be the one to help. She has a few friends who are helping, but she still wants my support. Seeking advice or words of encouragement from those who have been in a similar situation. TLDR, my wife is suicidal after cheating on me. She wants my support, but I don't feel I can after being betrayed by her. Update 2, nothing substantial to update with a new post. But I thought I would update that I spent 4 nights away from home mostly unplugged. Friday through Tuesday. I made this post Tuesday morning, sorry for the confusion. I came home Tuesday afternoon and we were cordial. I thought we would talk, but I think we both felt exhausted, so we didn't. She went to a friend's house for the evening to give me space. I got tested last week on Thursday. Everything came back negative today, which is a relief. This morning she woke up before I went to work, which is super rare. She just kind of hung out around me while I got ready. I asked her what's up and she just said nothing. I just miss you. I didn't respond and just told her I'd be home in the afternoon/by. I could tell it stung. I reckon we will try to catch up tonight where I'll hear her side of the story and then talk about a game plan for her moving out. Update 3. Hey. To those who advised I immediately kick my STBXW to the curb, you might not like this update all that much. The truth is, you aren't in this and there's only so much that is shared through text. At the end of the day, I am who I am. I've chosen patience and compassion. I didn't kick her to the street. In the past 2 weeks since posting originally, I have been away on the weekends and have simply gone through the motions of work. I have avoided her, and she has mostly avoided me aside from small mentions of how she misses me or has tried a number of times to cuddle up with me in my office to no avail. The only thing I allowed her of me, and I wanted it too, was we walked the dog together once and caught up with each other as if things were normal. The only conversation we had until today was last week. I confirmed to her that we would be splitting up. Her response was that she thought I would hear her side before making such a big decision. I told her that, while I believe she was a victim of abuse and manipulation, there are fundamental truths to this situation that make it unfixable. 1. She saw how I reacted after she revealed she had made out with him early on, how much pain I was in to learn that, and then she continued the affair. 2. By doing this unprotected, she put my health at risk. The conversation ended there. We have a mutual friend that is super close with both of us. I trust that she wants what is best for both of us. She says that she believes my partner is a victim of coercion and has been raped by this manipulative narcissist. I trust her that this has not been some fun fling and has overall been a traumatic experience for her. Friend told me that I should hear her side before making my decision. However, she also said she understood if I don't and sees my points on why. Today STBXW came into my home office to talk. We caught up a little bit and then got into it. She asked if I would go to a couples counselor. Not necessarily to fix things, but to have a conversation with a mediator to make sure everything could get out. I told her no. I told her that I am not in the phase of reconciliation and that I wouldn't be until after we are divorced and living separately. I also said that I believe she had a traumatic experience and that this guy was a terrible person, and it is only because of that I haven't kicked her out. Basically, the only thing I can give her for her struggle is to not expedite her move and to treat her cordially while cohabitating. I'm letting her have solid ground to make decisions on. I made it clear that she may be the victim in a situation in her own life, but that I am the victim in our life. She agreed. She then told me that I don't understand how she was manipulated and abused and started to tear up. I replied that I knew my end of it. That she had me in distress for months, lied to me, gaslit me, and made me feel crazy. I told her that she is my abuser and that I have been manipulated by her lies. This pretty much broke her. She cried a bit and then said something like, "This is why I wanted to have this conversation with a counselor," then agreed that she is an abuser and the only reasonable thing to do would be to kill herself. She then left and after a minute went outside to smoke. I went outside and told her that she has an entire life ahead of her, that she has made these mistakes, but that there's a reason I've loved her all these years. She's a great person, that I don't want her to hurt herself. I then told her that I have to tell more people that she's saying these kinds of things and that maybe we should get her some immediate help. She declined, pulled herself together, and stopped crying after a while. She then left to go to a friend's house. Hopefully I will only have to update after moving day. Thanks for all your advice and support, Reddit. TLDR, I have stuck to my guns about divorce and communicated that we need to separate. I am being patient as I agree that she has been through a traumatic experience. However, being that I have too, my patience and charity only reach so far. My wife, 34F, has no emotions since she found out I, 34M, cheated on her. Before the story, Please subscribe to the channel. I really want 1,000 subscribers. We have been married for 10 years, together for 13. We met at university. 4 years ago, I went to my brother John's bachelor party. We went to another state in my country to enjoy a particular bar there. Things got pretty crazy. We drank too much and even did narcotics and smoked a lot of marijuana. I don't remember anything about that night. I drank too much. We used narcotics. I woke up in a motel in my boxers and my cell phone was gone. John said I left after getting a little violent and no one knew anything after that. They hardly remember either, but apparently the most affected was me. About 3 months later, my ex-girlfriend arrives at my work. She was my girlfriend and I broke up with her about 4 months before I met my wife, and I never had contact with her. She came saying that she was pregnant and that I was her father. It was really something totally stupid, but she claimed it was true. She said that she happened to find me wandering in a bad state near the bar and took me to the motel, and we ended up having sex. Months later, she had the baby, a girl. I did the DNA test on her, and yes, she was mine. I took care of her and had to tell my wife what was happening. My wife was devastated, quite badly and devastated, and she asked me for a divorce. I literally begged her on my knees for her not to leave me, and after so much insistence, she declined the idea of divorce. But that's when she started to change. She stopped being the happy person I knew. She didn't talk as much anymore. She didn't smile. She wasn't a loving person. My ex-girlfriend comes from a religious family who wanted me to marry her to raise my daughter, but divorced or not, I would never be with my ex. I see my daughter every weekend. I take her home or I just take her to play, and my ex tries everything possible to be there by my side, which is annoying, and I have already told her many times that I am there for the girl, but she always looks for excuses. Even when I take my daughter home, she wants to stop by to talk about the child. I told my wife that she changed and she recognized it. She said that she really didn't know what was wrong with her. We went to both marriage and individual therapy, and she helped her a lot to be the same as before with other people, but not with me. I wanted to have children with my wife, but she doesn't even want me to touch her. We haven't done anything since almost 3 years. Her libido was quite high, but now she said that she doesn't feel like it and that her libido is totally gone. She also said that she knows that I have needs and that I could sleep with other girls, that I didn't have to worry. Which I haven't done. To clarify, I really don't know what else to do. I don't want to separate from her. Will she be like that now from now on? I really miss her a lot. I also want to add that I have asked my ex-girlfriend many times what she was doing in that state, since she does not live there, and she always changes her version. First it was because she went with a friend, then she says it was for work. When I mentioned the incongruously, she simply said I went for work and stayed to see a friend. Should I talk to my wife about this again? She always avoids the topic and puts more distance between us when I say something about infidelity. Update. My previous account was suspended. I wanted to clarify a few things. Thanks for your comments. 1. In my post, I never said that I was raped or anything like that. As I repeat, I don't remember anything about that night, so I don't really know what happened. I just want to say that I had no contact with my ex at all. I didn't even have her number or anything about her. 2. If I was really raped, I can't do anything. I don't remember anything, so it would remain vague assumptions. Besides, in my country, they prioritize women's rights, so if I go to the police, they will laugh in my face, and possibly my ex will try to blow it up by saying that I was the one who attacked her. 3. I am not a drug addict or alcoholic. That night was the first time I tried narcotics and the first time I got drunk that way. Which wasn't even worth it because my asshole brother got divorced after 6 months. I haven't touched a beer since that day either. 4. I have no contact with my ex. I mean, it's all about my daughter. She tries to reach out through my daughter, but I always end up reminding her where her place is. Fake names: my wife, Sophie. My daughter, Lucia. Ex, Paula. On Sunday, Sophie and I had a rather emotional conversation. Paula went to my house to drop off my daughter. She tried to start a conversation about how she wants that instead of leaving Lucia alone with me, the 3 of us should go out so that the girl can be in a more familiar environment. I told her no. Then Lucia approached Sophie and said something like, "My parents are going to get back together." Paula has been putting things in Lucia's head. It is not the first time she has said this, but it is the first time she has said it directly to my wife. Sophie started crying and locked herself in the room. When Sophie came out, we talked and I apologized again. We touched on several points in the conversation and she mentioned that she no longer felt comfortable. I asked her what she wanted to do and she just said, "I don't know." Sophie also mentioned that she knows that she has not been present at the marriage, that she agreed to stay with me because she still loves me, but that she feels that she has been resenting me because she does not believe that what happened that night is true. She says that many times she has doubts since it's ridiculous that my ex was coincidentally on the same day and in the same place as me. So she thinks I'm lying to her. She is also afraid of feeling displaced by Lucia, that if Sophie goes back to the way she was before, supporting me and giving me her affection, I will get used to it and settle in and end up giving all my attention to Lucia because I know that my wife will be there supporting me. And she doesn't want to feel that way. She also mentioned that she was afraid that I would change my mind and leave her for my ex and my daughter. Divorce was mentioned, but she said she doesn't want a divorce. We agreed to separate for 1 or several months. She will continue with the therapy. We'll go to marriage counseling too. I started packing yesterday and we also got intimate after 3 years. It was very beautiful and emotional. Thanks for her advice. I hope everything works out with my wife and I don't have to get a divorce. I really want 1,000 subscribers. Let's fulfill this goal. I love you. Write your opinion about these stories.